Hello friends, this is Scott, and here's a look at that pile of wood chips that I had dropped a few weeks ago. And I made a dent, but there's a lot of wood chips here. I've taken multiple loads to the school garden, and today I loaded up a load to take down to the hobby farm. It's the last bit of material that I need. I need to get compost and topsoils and things like that down there. And this is the top dressing to make sure you mulch the soil and cover the soil. But I need to get it out of the driveway because I cannot get two cars in the driveway still. So of all the material I've moved, I'm still a little shy of being able to get that second car in. So we're getting closer. So off to the hobby farm we go, and here we are. I didn't take a full truckload. This is a little over a cubic yard. I did tarp it because on the way down here it's 80 miles an hour. The wind's always blowing. So I don't think the other cars and drivers would appreciate if I didn't tarp this. So here it is. So that's about a cubic yard or a little over. And I do have some grass clippings from all the mowing I've been doing. So I'm starting to stockpile raw materials to start making the beds and for the next year's crops in the plant. So we'll see how that goes. But we're not quite there yet. I came down here to help the old property owners move some property around and throw some stuff in the dumpsters, as well as clean up the property more. And here's the tires. These are all the tires other than the two big ones I've got in the back. So got to get rid of them. So I take them to the local tire shop, and they cost, it varies based on the size of the tire. But here's the tire graveyard for recycling. It cost me $44 to get rid of that many tires, or $46 with tax. So it wasn't terrible. Then checked on the gophers, and this was a pile that I just unearthed that I couldn't find the tunnels, so I just let the hole stay open to see if the gopher would come back and refresh the tunnel, and he did. So he showed me where he's at, both sides. Here's a close-up look at the holes. Now, you'd think a gopher would do a straight line tunnel, but these gophers don't do that. Every tunnel is curved, and it's not just always obvious where they're at. But this side is collapsed, so I don't think he's down on this side, but I think he's on this other side. That was where he was pushing dirt, so we set the traps. Now, I'll do another video on how to exactly set these traps and everything, but they're pretty easy once you know how to do them. But you set them going the opposite directions, and the theory is they're pushing dirt, they'll snap, their bodies will be in the middle of the trap, and they'll snap the trap and catch themselves. So I covered them with boards, and let's see if we were successful in getting another gopher. We've only had one so far. I think I've got one or possibly two left in the front yard, and then I've got to go back into the pasture. But here we go. There, I don't think I got him. He's collapsed the tunnel again, and this one, he didn't come from that side, which I didn't think he would, but he's buried the trap. So it's very unlikely that I caught him. So let's take a look here as I tug the string, and you always tie them off because they'll drag them down the hole, and sure enough, no luck. This gives you kind of a look at the trap, and it's a little spring-loaded trap, and so when they hit that little silver metal with the dirt, those jaws collapse, and that's what catches the gophers. So I had to dig the tunnel out, get rid of some of the dirt, and reset the traps. Now here's a look at the pasture. A couple of weeks of watering, and it's doing its thing. We've had a little bit of rain also, but the pasture is starting to recover. It's starting to turn green, and the shade trees I planted are doing well. So it's getting closer to animal time. So we'll see what happens here the next month or so. But I like the green pasture. It makes me feel a lot better than just brown. Miss Thing did not forget me, and was a regular up on the porch, getting pets, and even sat on my lap a few times. So still a little skittish, but as you can see, this cat is feeling a lot more comfortable, and she's just hanging around all day now. Before, she would just disappear and you wouldn't see her at all. I'd be there the whole weekend and not see this cat, but now she knows that I'm not a bad guy, and there's some scratches there, which is kind of cool. So she's hanging out, and again, she gets spooked and runs off a little bit, but she always comes back now, and we're enjoying her. Now, there's two other cats that have been on this property before that appear to have other homes, and there's a big white tomcat named Theo that did come and visit. That I very rarely saw that cat. And it's based on his grooming and his physical condition. It looks like he's found another home, but he comes and visits. And so he actually came and sat on my lap and was not skittish at all. And that was a cat that I very rarely have seen. So Ms. Thing, I keep saying Mr. Thing, but Ms. Thing is doing good. And as you can see, she's feeling comfortable. And every time she remembers there's a new person here, she wants to get scratched. So I think we're moving forward. Now, there's always something bad every trip, it seems like, and the water heater is not working. So this isn't that old of a water heater. It doesn't look the greatest, but it shouldn't be ready to replace, but it's got one of those electronic ignitions, and there's an error. There's a sensor error. So that's our next trip, is to spend money on something I hadn't planned on yet. But, well, when you have something new, at least it's one less thing to worry about. Well, thanks for watching this video, and next video we'll be back in either my home garden or the school garden. We'll see where we go before we head back down to get that water heater replaced. Well, thanks for watching and supporting me, and I appreciate it. And please subscribe if you like what you see. Thanks.